Yo, can y'all hear me, chat? My mic is unmuted as well, chat. Yo, can y'all hear me, chat? My mic is unmuted. I was gonna say if my mic was glitching and all that, I was gonna be pissed. But that was simply because of my poor internet connection during that time. But yeah, man, I'm streaming the next day. It's like, what day? July 5th? Yeah, man. I was streaming like July 4th, but it was like midnight. So I mentioned Happy 4th of July on that stream. So yeah, Happy 4th of July of yesterday. Oh man, 4th of July was great, man. Oh yeah, AZ wanted to chat with me. Hopefully he's still awake. Man, he wanted to chat with me about what happened. But I was like, man, I was at my grandparents' place. I was overthinking. Remember that time I was mentioning? Oh, I was overthinking all that. Man, it wasn't necessarily bad. Like, I don't have to worry about all that old-fashioned shit and all that. You know, my, grandpa overall. But anyway, chat, the old-fashioned shit, you know. But man, 4th of July was great. I actually did plenty of research on how each holiday resembles one of the deadly sins, which is actually specifically associated with like certain biblical series, as you know, in terms of Christianity overall, you know. But man, yeah, my game is still saved. Yeah, I had to end that stream because the centipede, man. I was like, oh my gosh, I was very traumatized. But like I mentioned, I don't use that as an excuse. I actually had to head to bed, you know. So am I gonna do my 30 push-ups in the basement officially without getting like, well, I wouldn't say interrupted, but well, it's considered, but not in a bad way, like sinful way, obviously. I mean, there's a spider, but it's not like it's gonna crawl to me. I was actually near it because my homie wanted to know what it looked like, but I'm pretty sure he's asleep or something, you know. So hopefully my homie is awake. But yeah, 4th of July was great. I swam in the cold lake. I even mentioned it. Oh. Oh, my friend just texted me. She didn't text me since. Uh... Anyway, I'll text her in a bit. Because I text her whenever day I texted her. Anyway. But yeah, it was great. I swam in the cold lake. Grilled plenty of food. Well, I didn't. They did. The well, actually, what the only thing they grilled was sausage. So you know where those come from? The meat. Cows. I love them. Yeah. Okay, don't be like, whoa, why are you saying it in a bad way and then you say, oh, you love them. No, I don't mean like that. I was like, because I don't want you to all be like, whoa, sausage. Whoa, what am I hearing? No. Okay, yeah, people do use that word for that term, but no, I'm referring to like, it's from cows. But it's good, you know? And I would never be a vegan or vegetarian, so those, no offense to those who are vegan vegetarians. I'm not saying like, oh, you made the wrong choice. I mean, you know. Alright, so here, I'm gonna mention what I wanna mention, chat. And actually, I'm gonna put this music down because, you know. Excuse me, chat. I'll turn it back up in quite a bit. Because sometimes I get anxious, sometimes I don't. I just manage it in terms of my stress and anxiety level. But anyway, so I feel like those who are vegan or vegetarian, I feel like they're neglecting their health because without meat, our body won't necessarily have much of a like a muscular form. Yes, there's plenty of non-meat protein food, and yet if you constantly work out, like you would have plenty of muscles. But I feel like if you add more meat, if you add more majority of that iron or just red meat or what any certain type of meat, like within that, it would mix up and like double this mass, the muscular mass. But that's just my point of view. It's a factual opinion because I can prove it as a fact, like it's a fact. But other people could be like, oh, so you say I can't be a vegan or vegetarian? Well, I mean, I'm just saying you gotta be aware when you become that because overall, I'm an omnivore. God gave us the free will to be both a meat eater and plant eater because we're allowed to have plant. I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't have plant at all, plant-based food. I'm just saying overall, you can't just be a herbivore. You gotta be both because like that's how we all survive within our mortal body. But as a soul, aka the glorified body, are we gonna still have meat? Well, there could be certain meat. What if there's like who knows, like a cow? Like the meat would look different. We would eat it the way like that, like different. It wouldn't be grilled. It would all be all red. But who knows? Because they mentioned that there is gonna be meat in heaven and um the new earth. I was gonna say people could be like, "Whoa, heaven and hell." No, we're not gonna have heaven. No, I meant like heaven and the new earth, which heaven's gonna be on the earth. Heaven has never touched the physical surface of earth. It's been on the sky. When it have always existed though, it was just within the universe. And as earth occurred, it just went into the sky. Never like occurred on the land. So when they mean by new heaven, they're referring to like the universe back to what it used to be and what is before and what it's meant to be, and the new earth, what it was before and what it's meant to be. Um, and like heaven on earth, which is like not on the sky, like within the atmosphere overall. Is that heaven? It's gonna be like on earth. It'll be cool. What are certain things I want to mention as well? Oh, what up, chat? Anyway, chat. Overall, yeah, the Megan 2.0 movie is like it's been out since June 27th. I was gonna say, it's not officially, it wasn't officially out just like that like yesterday, for example. Which imagine that. No, no, it's July 27th. That is a perfect date, and yeah, it was released next or last month, so it's interesting because the first one was released like January, so the second one of June. I have never had a chance to like see it, but the actress of what's her name? The actress of Katie from Megan, like the original movie. Yeah, she's a great actress. She plays as Katie, and she is now, in terms of the puberty and like physical changes within that chat, you'd be like, wow, she is temporarily physically an adolescent slash adult within her mortal body. Overall, chat. Overall, that is like, you know. So overall, chat, it's like there's plenty of physical changes. Overall, is what I'm referring to, chat. You know what I'm referring to? Like you'd be like, wow, she looks different in that 2.0 movie compared to the first one. And like, yeah, I'm gonna see it with my boy because my girl, she'll get traumatized if I take her to see horror movies. And people say scary movies as in like, oh, it's about to scary. No, the reason why is to test your mentality, see if you would have any fear or not. But overall, if I were an actor, I would like to be both an actor and just view the movie myself, view my own movies that I'm in and like other movies that I mean, I like to be in every movie, regardless of what they meant to be. I like to be in every movie. I like to be an actor overall. I just love to be an actor. Just that the stress and anxiety chat and how I get traumatized or whatever, man, like just not the moment. I mean, I want to be GTA 6, and I'm like, oh, I want to be in there before release. Like, I want to make certain changes for it. But hey, I could be in GT 7. I could be like one of the protagonists. I'll be the Rockstar CEO as well, so you'll see me creating GT 7, and hopefully they don't create it. Did I say create it? Create it. Create it. No, I meant to say create it. Yeah, hopefully they don't create it immediately. But hold on, let me text my friend because she is waiting. And she was like, "Yes?" Question mark. Because I mentioned to her, "Oh, can I be honest with you?" And it's not in a bad way. Could I possibly be honest with you? So hold up, chat. I'm gonna actually not mention this. This is actually personal. Hold up. Actually, before I even text her, I'm not gonna leave her on hold. I'm not gonna be like, oh, can I be honest? And then yeah, that would be like yeah, ignorant or both arrogant and ignorant. Which that ignorant is within the least in arrogant, But hold up. But yeah, overall, I just want to be an actor, like real shit. Like just imagine me in every video game and movie that I want to consider being in. Like I want to be in the next Ratchet and Clank game, and that is not gonna be the last one. It is a false rumor. I'm gonna ensure that every sequel is created. Like I want to be Detroit Become Human #2. I want to be in just every like game, TV shows, live shows like WWE, and movies possible. Like anything that involves acting. I like to be an actor and I like to be the viewer. For WWE though, I like to be an entertainer because like I mean like when it comes to viewing, I mean I like to be the viewer of that WWE event. I wouldn't necessarily mind, you know. I mean, I'm sure you could attend it. You'll just be like in the camera, so you can't do like whatever that would that people will be like, whoa, whoa, what am I seeing? Because you know how you're like the celebrity and you have to choose the front seat and like, hey, look at me, I'm the champion. Like, look at my title. Well, I wouldn't be like that. That is a bragger. That is like you're arrogant. I mean, who knows what I could possibly do if I had a title? For me, I want three titles because you know how Roman Reigns, he had three titles like at that one point, and overall his two titles have to be taken away because of certain reasons. Simply because he had that like like that next upgrade of the Universal title, which I like to see Universal titles. That is the dominance of all titles. Like when I see male titles, I'm like, man. And I'm gonna watch WWE Fight Night SmackDown possibly whenever I get a chance. I'm definitely gonna watch it afterwards. Real shit. Once I get finished streaming. Excuse me, chat. But man, like I want to like consider like yeah, excuse me, chat. But yeah, I want to witness like me, like myself, of being the champion. You know, the champion is what I'm referring to. And another thing I want to mention, I want so when I was like, cause I was exercising and I was listening to music and I was thinking like about how you know how Logan Paul he's not the original creator of the Prime, but he sells Prime drinks. I want to create my own energy drink, which a non-energy and an energy, or just energy. I mean, I'll figure something out. I'll actually be the original creator of it, and I'm not gonna brag it towards Logan Paul, you know. But in the storyline, it'll seem like I'm a sinner or someone who would sin less. But no, because like I mentioned, I'm without sins. Like I mentioned, chat, I'm without sins, without mistakes, and very righteous in terms of me being a virtual overall chat, So overall chat, like people would think that, but overall it's part of the storyline, and I'm not gonna. That's not my intention as like what my character's gonna be. Because my first one's gonna be Scorpion King, then my other character's gonna continue on. I'm gonna constantly. Because when it comes to job, you keep on working, never retire. For me though, I'm not gonna say for everybody, because unfortunately there's certain reasons why. I'm not gonna say much because like I'm not offensive, but it would seem offensive, but it's not gonna necessarily. But you know, But yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to react to that one video of that guy where they say, "Oh, there's no meat in like heaven or on the new earth." I feel like there would be but there'd be like restriction, like God Almighty Jesus Christ is aware, you know, in terms of like how there's no sin within heaven and the new earth, meaning it's without sin, it's like vanished, it's extinct overall, but eternally and indefinitely, it's never gonna occur, you know. Like the woolly mammoth and any creature that's extinct, or anything that's considered extinct overall, like like ancient dinosaurs, like those that have occurred long ago, not the modern ones we currently have, but those dinosaurs. I feel that like they're just resting in peace, but none of those species are active within their mortal body. They're all resting in peace, their mortal body, and the soul, a.k.a.'s glorified body, like shall occur. It's like within it. It's like a vessel overall, or singularity, you know. Which they could possibly have similarities or can be synonyms. Who knows? But yeah, my bad, chat. Hold up, chat. But yeah, overall, chat. Yeah, I want to create my own energy drink. Like it'll be cool. Just imagine. Well, what was I thinking about earlier? Was I that, chat? It's like what's in it. It's like a vessel overall. I'll actually be the original creator of it. Paul, he didn't. He's not the original. So overall, chat. Like people would think that, but overall, it's part of the. Because when it comes to job, you keep on working, never retire. For gonna necessarly. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to react to that one. Oh yeah, so yeah, overall, yeah, I was like overall mentioning like I'm definitely gonna react to the video. But another thing I want to mention. So anyway, according to the game chat, like without further ado, I'm gonna like let's go straight to this shit. So overall, I'm gonna unpause it. So I put my mic volume quite a bit down.
You pathetic little nobody!
The fuck? Steal fire truck to help prepare for the heist. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, let's consider finding a barber shop because real shit, we gotta get that rid of that chest here. But yeah, because like I wanna have laser hair removal, but like I'm like sometimes I overthink about it. Like like I want to do it on my leg, but then like how my parents gonna overreact or not overreact, how they're gonna react. Oh, it's just called barbershop overall. Let's consider heading here. Or you know what? Let's head here again and ensure like it's open. Oh, that person's gone. Wow. But like, yeah, me and my boy, yeah, him and I are gonna most see that Megan 2.0 movie. Yeah, Angel's my boy, and Farhan. Him and I could possibly consider. Here, I'm gonna mention to him. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you still awake? Cause I got something to mention to you." Anyway, hold on. Let me text that girl. That's a friend. Okay. I just mentioned to her. I bet you I watched the trailer as well of Megan 2.0. Man, it's gonna be a badass movie. I never had a chance to see it though. I definitely myself want to see it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna mention to my stepmom because I definitely want to see two movies at once this week. Like, can't you see two movies at once though? Well, I would, but like then my stepmom would be like, "Well, it took me quite a while to see that movie, you know." And obviously, majority of movies are like an hour or 2 hours long. Yeah, I'll just do separate days. I mean, I'll figure something out. Like, I want to just make time with my homies, get my girl, my wifey overall. She wants to see Stitch, and I haven't seen it yet. I never had a chance to see it, and I want to see that Megan 2.0. It's been out since like last week, so. And it was released on Friday, so I bet majority seen that movie. It's badass. I don't mind spoilers, real shit. If someone wants to mention, just mention. But don't mention the whole movie, because, well, you could, but when you mention the whole movie, it's like you're mentioning. It's like you're recapping of what you witnessed. But overall, I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. Jurassic World Rebirth. Damn, that's another movie I want to see. Um, I mean, I'll figure something out. You know, I gotta see how much money I got. You know, I mean, if when it comes to my boys, they got money, and my girl have a debit card, so I can just. I'm not gonna use my girl, but I'm gonna say, hey, like, we're sharing. You know, I'll spend mine, you spend yours. So I'll spend for the tickets, or actually, she could spend for the tickets overall, and I'll spend for the food. We'll spend for our own individual food, you know. And hope she agrees on that overall, you know. Because I want to see Stitch, well, Mega 2.0, and, well, Jurassic Park Rebirth. You know. See, I gotta see movies, chat. Once a movie released, I want to see it exactly that day overall, chat, you know. Somebody better see my bus overall.
Hello. Can I help you? Because you are perfect.
You said I look perfect? Ooh. That's actually the one I want overall.
I love the outfit you have on today. Gorgeous!
But I'm quite curious though. You can't get rid of the chest hair?
Bye-bye, beautiful.
Well. Who knows? Alright, let's gotta find a fire truck. Where they can possibly be at? Okay, that's a car wash. It'd be cool if we can witness a fire truck. Actually, you know what? You wanna know what's the simplest way to get one? This is the smartass way. Just call 911. Just say I got an emergency.
Hello, this is 911. What emergency service do you require?
My chest is on fire.
Thank you. The fire department are en route to your
In
location.
terms of his hair, because you know something, you got itchy sensations like a fire's on you. Really, real shit, that's like metaphorically. Oh no. An idiom, my bad. Oh, love the sound of that.
You're never going to make it to operations at this rate.
And a siren doesn't mean coming through, or it's the police. It's the police, it's the paramedic, or it's the firefighters. It's not the firefighters, police officers, or paramedics. Because overall, that's not like it doesn't mean like oh it's us coming through. No, it doesn't mean that. Like for example, paramedics coming through. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It's like another way of saying like for example, police turns their siren on. It means like somebody is a sinner or committed a sin. Like if they committed less sin, whether they're sanctified or sinner, who knows? Like that they are in trouble and they are doing it, going against the law, or like paramedic, they'll turn that on to ensure like to let people know like oh someone got hurt, or a firefighter, they'll turn their sirens on like for their fire truck overall to ensure like well it seems like a fire van but fire truck to ensure like oh someone's house is on fire, let's let people know. Actually I'm gonna ask Siri, see what Siri knows. Hey Siri, why exactly do police officers, firefighters, and paramedics turn on their sirens? To ensure that there could be an issue. and people be like, oh, someone got hurt. You know, because I want to be a police officer, firefighter, because we fight fire. And paramedics. Paramedics meaning the professionals who are associated with medics, and police? Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word police? Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word police? It's gonna take quite a while for me to process it, you know. The civil force of a national or local government responsible for the prevention, detection of a sin, a.k.a. crime, which is a modern word for sin, and the maintenance of public order to ensure that people, when someone is killed, the police have to be informed to ensure that they are punished for their sins. But the crime is like a modern word. They have synonyms. But what does that word officer mean? Like police officer. A civil force. Like a force. Because it's actually a separate soldier. Military is in terms of war. Hey Siri, what was the evolution of police? Or like in ancient eras, like before we had police, you know. Hey Siri, before we had police, how did people get arrested during the ancient era? Excuse me, chat. Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word officer? Like they have the right to punish. So a civil punisher. Here, hold on, let me ask Google. Before the evolution of police occurred, how did people get arrested during the ancient era or before they became a thing? Before the evolution of police occurred, how... I'm quite curious. I am quite curious, because I want to know, overall. Most likely, overall. Alrighty. Before the evolution of former police forces, or civil forces, I'm sure that's what the word police is another way of saying, different methods were used to maintain order and apprehend wrongdoers, or sinners. So yeah, crime... Hey Siri, is crime and sin... Hey Siri, is crime and sin a simile? Oh my gosh. Hey Siri, is crime and sin synonyms? Oh my gosh. Hey Siri, is crime and sin synonyms? Hold up. I'll ask Google. Sinners in ancient societies. Kin policing. In early societies, law enforcement was often handled through kin policing, or kin forces. Clan or tribe members would enforce the rules of the group on individuals who transgressed. An attack on one member was seen as an attack on the whole group and collective attack. Don't necessarily do that. In ancient Greece and Rome, legal proceedings against offenders were typically initiated by the victims. The victim, sometimes with their families, help would apprehend the criminal and bring them to trial before judges. Ah, okay. Number 3, community response. In some systems, such as the English hue and cry systems, citizens were obligated to raise an alarm and pursue criminals or sinners when they witnessed a crime. Failure to participate could result in punishment for the citizen. Number 4, early organized forces. Some ancient civilizations had organized bodies was law enforcement's duties, although they may not resemble modern police forces. Well, those modern versions. Ancient Egypt had a system where pharaohs appointed officials responsible for justice and security, aided by a chief of the hitters who handled tax collecting. Babylon, in the first millennium before Christ, had the office of the Padu, who functioned as a policeman involved in investigations, arrests, and safeguarding property. So arrest is another way of... Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word arrest? Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word arrest? It's like another way of saying punish. He seized them. So arrest and safeguarding property. Ancient Rome developed the Vigiles, a group of free Roman citizens tasked with firefighting, suppressing riots, and so they all did certain things at once. They arrest and they fight fire. Suppressing riots. Yeah, no riots, meaning people who are in terms of violence, and apprehending criminals like thieves, those are who are greedy that like to steal, and the burglars. Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word burglars? I'm sure that's another way of saying you broke into a building, like you destruct property, you didn't ask for permission, you never had the consent, and that is another way of saying you want to enter a specific building in terms of stealing. Because isn't that the thieves those two people in Home Alone, they like to steal, they're greedy, they like to have access to take other people's belongings. Yeah, that's fucked up. But those people aren't actually burglars. That is a story. Storytelling. I like to be in movies like that. If they make another Home Alone, put me in it. Home Alone should continue. I'd be the Kevin. Real shit though. Real shit should. Anyway, the Corets Urbani in Rome were a force created to maintain public order and address issues like mobs and street gangs. And military involvement. In larger civilizations, the military often played a role in maintaining civil order. In ancient Greece, magistrates relied on the military for external security and used publicly owned slaves to assist with crowd control and arrest. Number 6. Private security and watchmen. In some areas like colonial America, private individuals or groups would hire watchmen or thief takers to provide protection and apprehend criminals. Ah. I'm pretty sure that's how the FBI became a thing overall, in terms of how they're like part of some type of like military, you know, because they mentioned like needy military for the bigger shit, for those who commit bigger sins or crime, which is a modern way of saying sins. Anyway, private security in... Oh yeah, I already read that. Number 7, elders and local authorities. In some communities, local elders or appointed constables held authority and were responsible for resolving disputes and ensuring compliance with laws or social obligation, which is specifically associated with God Almighty Jesus Christ's commandments or laws. Laws or commandments are synonyms, or laws/commandments are synonyms, you know. These examples shows that before former police forces or officers, communities and governments used various methods to address sins/crimes and maintain social control in terms of society, often involving citizens or groups like the Vigiles in Rome to enforce rules and apprehend offenders. Hey Siri, what exactly are police officers, firefighters, and paramedics? Like, I want to see what that specific word is overall. Police officers, they are law enforcement, maintaining laws overall. Law enforcement professionals responsible for maintaining public order, protecting lives and property, preventing sin/crimes, and enforcing laws/commandments. So God Almighty Jesus Christ, obviously, but like majority of them are sinners because they like to abuse the power when realizing that they have an order from God Almighty Jesus Christ, which is the government, like through the government to God Almighty Jesus Christ. But when I'm a cop, I'm gonna go according to history, like what I just read overall, chat. You know, their duties can especially, well, include patrolling areas responding to emergencies, sensing danger overall, and non-emergencies, conducting traffic stops, investigating crimes, making arrests, and testifying in court. They often patrol on foot, in vehicles, or by other means, and may especially specialize in areas like investigation or specific types of crimes or sins. They need a high school diploma to a college degree and must graduate from their agency's training academy. Well, nowadays people have to be educated. They can't be like, am I the guy? Back then it was different. It was very different overall. Firefighters. They are first responders who combat and extinguish fires. Their role extends beyond firefighting to especially a wide range of emergency response services like medical emergencies, hazardous materials incidents, and rescue operations. Many firefighters are especially trained as emergency medical technicians or paramedics to provide medical care and emergency scenes. They are as well involved in preventive activities like conducting fire safety education programs and performing home safety checks. Becoming a firefighter requires extensive training, especially a fire academy program and ongoing education to stay updated on techniques and protocols. Paramedics, they are highly trained medical professionals who are part of the emergency medical services team. EMS. Okay. They respond to emergency medical situations, assess patients' conditions, provide advanced life support, and transport patients to hospitals. Paramedics have more advanced training than EMTs and can administer medication, perform advanced respiratory procedures, and deliver babies. That's actually cool, because if you aren't able to make it to the hospital, they're the ones to head to your house and they'll provide instruction. That's cool. I want to be a paramedic. For real though. To become a paramedic, individuals need a high school diploma. Okay. Complete extensive training, especially basic and intermediate EMT training and paramedic training, and pass certification exams. Paramedics often work closely with firefighters and police officers at the scene of an emergency to ensure proper patient care and scene safety. In summary, police officers enforce the law and maintain order, firefighters combat fires and respond to various emergencies, and paramedics provide advanced medical care in emergency situations. These three groups are all essential first responders who have to work together to provide public safety and emergency services. Overall, to ensure, like overall, you know. So overall, they're a reference to first responders, you know. I like to be all those simultaneously. But I love to be a police, you know. Another thing I want to read. So police officers, firefighters, and paramedics are all first responders. So overall, they're referred to as first responders. Someone that you would want to, you know, chat with. You know. And crime rate is another way of saying sin rate. But crime... Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word crime? Hey Siri, what's the definition... Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word crime? An action or omission that constitutes an offense that may be prosecuted by the state in... I'm sure there's another way of saying sin. Let me ask... Anyway, hold on, let me read this. So, meaning they are typically... So, yeah, first responders. Meaning they are typically among the first to arrive at the scene of an emergency to provide assistance. They each have distinct roles and responsibilities. Police officers focuses on maintaining order and enforcing laws. Firefighters respond to fires and other emergencies involving hazards. And paramedics provide medical care partially in urgent situations. Police officers, their primary duties involve enforcing laws, investigating crimes or sins of a person, maintaining public safety, and responding to various calls for service, especially traffic accidents and domestic disputes. They may as well be involved in providing first aid and, in some cases, advanced medical care. Firefighters, their core responsibility is to extinguish fires, but they as well respond to a wide range of other emergencies, especially hazardous material incidents, building collapse, and vehicle accidents. Many firefighters... Oh, yeah, because anything that involves fire, they want to ensure, you know, are also trained as EMTs or paramedics, allowing them to provide medical care at the scene. Overall, paramedics, they are highly trained medical professionals specializing in providing emergency medical care, partially in pre-hospital settings. They assess patients, administer medications, and stabilize individuals with injuries or illnesses before they can be transported to a hospital. Overall, while their core functions differ, these three groups often collaborate and may as well or even have some overlap in their duties, especially in integrated public safety departments. For example, some police officers may have advanced medical training, and some firefighters may also be paramedics. Wow. Can't a police officer be all simultaneously? Like a person overall being all of the first responder? I definitely want to be that. Man, just imagine being a police officer. Okay, hold up. But yeah, the whole point of why I was asking that is simply because of, like, why I want to be, man. Like, this is history. And I can learn the history of being a firefighter paramedic possibly, like, whenever I get a chance. Because, man, that is cool. I could be, like, before the evolution of... I could imagine before the evolution of firefighters and paramedics, you know. Are sins and crimes synonyms? Are sins and crimes synonyms? No, sins and crimes are not synonyms, though they can overlap. A sin is a transgression against... So they can overlap. They're not synonyms. They overlap. I mean, the whole point of why I'm saying that they're synonyms because they have to be a sin. So, no, sins and crimes are not synonyms, though they can overlap. A sin is a transgression against divine law, while a crime is a violation of a civil law. Well, they're synonyms. All of those overall is associated with God, my Jesus Christ, in terms of it. So yeah, divine law, because it mentions against religious or moral law. No, it's divine. Crime is overall divine. Like, people maintain that order to ensure people are righteous, you know. Some actions can be both a sin and a crime. Well, they're synonyms. But not all sins are crimes. Meaning, some of them people wouldn't care, and not all crimes are sins. That's fucked up. But anyway, I'll consider reading it overall. According to Writing Law and Quora is what it was referring to. Yeah, false opinion. It's just an opinion. Real shit meaning like it's not it can't be proven as a fact when you say like not all sins are crimes and not all crimes are sins, or mentioning like religious or moral law when you mention like what sin is. No, it's a divine law. Crime as well. They're synonyms. You know, it's another way of saying a sin, like something you did overall. So a sin, when you explain the word sin, a sin is a transgression against religious or moral principles. Not really. A sin is a transgression against divine principle to God Almighty Jesus Christ. It often involves a violation of a divine law or moral code. Well, overall, examples include lying, stealing, or adultery, depending on religious and moral beliefs. Yeah, overall, lying should be. Well, lying is a sin and crime because they don't want you to lie overall. Like, for example, not all sins are crimes. So you're saying that, like, how lying is a sin and it can be a crime, whereas not all crimes are sins. Quite interesting. A crime is an action that violates the laws of a state or society. It is an offense punishable by the legal system. Overall, that's a sin. Excuse me. Not sin. What am I saying? That is associated with God Almighty Jesus Christ in terms of divine law. So yeah, they're synonyms. But people can mention how it has a difference. You know how. You know. So, an examples of crimes are theft, assault, or murder. Isn't theft like stealing? Like that is a sin. Assault, a sin. A murder. Are you kidding me? People think that murder is not a sin. It's a sin. What the fuck? That is. What kind of opinion is this overall? Sins and Okay, key differences. Nature of the violations. Like, in terms of, like, how it violates God Almighty Jesus Christ overall through divine laws. Well, overall, chat. Sins are violations of divine laws, while crimes are violation of civil law. Well, because I'm pretty sure, like, it depends on how people view it in different, like, countries or a state, like, different states of that country, like the United States or different countries, if they have a state. But overall, it's still a violation to God Almighty Jesus Christ overall, chat. Consequences. Sins are typically seen as offenses against God Almighty Jesus Christ overall, while crimes are offenses against society. Well, I feel like everybody have their own views on how they will punish him or not punish him, but overall, the overall of it, overall chat, is it's people are going to be punished by God Almighty Jesus Christ. If you're in prison, which is temporarily, hell is temporarily, but a more duration for thousands of years. You know, overlap. While some actions can be both sins and crimes, such as murder, well, yeah, now you get it. There is a sin and crime, but overall sin and crimes are synonyms because you're sinning. You're a criminal, you're a sinner, you're a criminal, or whatever, overall. Or if whether you're sanctified, you know, overall. Like me, overall, I'm without sins, without mistakes, and very righteous in terms of me being a virtue. So I would never, like, sin and no criminal history for me overall, chat, you know? So yeah, murder. You'll get punished overall, arrested, and potentially hell if you're, whether it's a sinner, but if it's someone sanctified, yeah, they're forgiven. But it depends on how of a murder you are, chat. Many actions are considered one or the other when it comes to sins and crimes. Okay. I mean, overall, yeah, it's a sin and crime. Sin and crimes are synonyms. For example, adultery may be considered a sin through God Almighty Jesus Christ's eyes, but is not a crime in most strict jurisdictions. It should be overall because they want to maintain the relationship order. It's like, oh, you have that freedom. See, that is false freedom. You gotta ensure, like, the freedom has to be from God Almighty Jesus Christ. You gotta commit. It's gotta be justice. Justice should be associated. I feel like it should be a crime, meaning unlawful. So sin and crime is a synonym. So overall, it should be part of that, you know. Like, damn. So I'll go to chat, you know. But anyway, chat, without further ado, let's get straight to the shit. I'm just quite curious overall, chat, you know. Hold on, let me check the research I did overall, chat. Oh, because I want to, like, yeah, overall, okay. That's why I want to be a police officer, you know. And who knows what president is, but it's gonna take quite a while for me to process it. Pretty sure it's like someone who is voted as that type of leader. Like, there's different people. Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word Sometimes Siri does not answer, it's like a glitch. Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word president? The elected head of a republic. Oh, like you give freedom, okay. Oh, like you're the head of a society, council. Oh, because you know back then you were a leader of one nation, or more than one nation, like a king, emperor, different leaders during history. A president is someone voted just to be a part of one nation, but then they're shared leaders. But I feel like there should be a president being a president forever. Like I should be one forever, you know. But like I'm not gonna be a dictator, but I feel like there should be other president. Who knows? It's gonna take a while for me to process like all the situation overall. You know, man, I am hungry again, man. Like I just had all that great food. I'm gonna have snack. Snack is like an appetizer. I mean, there's different type of snacks. Well, actually, appetizer is not filling, but something you would have to prepare your body. Like you wouldn't have to wait and like starve. If there was no appetizer, that would be fucked up. It's another way of saying messed up. It's just a strong language. You're using like more emphasis, like showing feeling towards it and deeper emotion. But it can lead to offense, so that is why it could be a sin in terms of how you use it. When I say fucked up, God, my Jesus Christ understands that I'm referring to. It's a reference of saying that's messed up, you know. But if I'm like you're fucked, that means you made a mistake. But if you use it in terms of offense, to be aware. Just don't offend people overall when you use it. Like when you say fuck you, gotta be aware when you use it. But if the person get angry, it's for a certain reason. So be aware, you know. Like heaven and the new earth, like overall chat, we won't use those words. But my kids I would ensure they can use it because they have the free will, but ensuring that it have nothing to do with offense, you know. Because as time evolves, people, especially religious people, especially Christian, because Christianity have always existed. Well, has, because it has always been around overall chat, you know. It's gonna take quite a while for me to process whether it's like have or has overall chat, you know. But anyway, chat. Anyway, chat. But overall, chat, yeah, as I'm referring to, chat, yeah, I'm gonna have a snack. That's more, it's like more small, like something that keeps you filling. But who knows, appetizer and snacks could possibly be synonyms. Actually, no, they are synonyms, I'm pretty sure. It's gonna take quite a while for me to process it, chat, you know. Hold on, check me a minute, I'm gonna do something for quite a bit, chat, you know. I'm back. Anyway, chat, without further ado, let's get started, chat, you know. Hold on, my headphone got, Hold on, my thing got attached to my other headphone, got tangled. Well, not tangled necessarily, but you know, what I'm referring to overall, chat, you know. But anyway, chat, yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to shit. I'm just talking overall, chat, you know.
No, avoid North Rockford Drive.
Anyway.
Oh my God!
That is a sin and crime. Because they're synonyms. I feel like crime is just used if it's like an offense of that sin, you know. But overall, they're synonyms, you know, because overall, you know, overall, it's through God Almighty Jesus Christ, like what you did towards him. It's offense. It's an abomination. But atheists only believe in the term crime modernly. But I'm a Christian. Overall, though, it's the truth. That's what we speak of it overall. Like, they're synonyms, sins and crimes. But as time evolves, it'll be very different, chat, you know. Anyway, the fire trucks will be here, and after I'm gonna end the stream afterward, just watch WWE, or actually no, WWE's gonna be later today. I'm gonna just watch my movie, you know, just chill.
Get out the way and die!
Shut the fuck up. That's another way of saying, like, you know, it's gonna take quite a while for me to process it overall, chat, you know, but you know what I'm referring to, chat, you know. It's taking quite a while, come on. Like, I gotta prepare, you know. Boulder Pyramids overall, chat, you know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, sometimes it takes quite a while for people to, like... Yeah, I'm gonna listen to the siren sounds, because, so once I hear the... That's the police officer. So people, because you know how people make jokes like, oh, they're coming for you, even though you didn't nothing, like, sinful, or, like a crime, or criminal-wise. If I see a criminal, I'll just sort of... Because real shit, you gotta forgive them for what they did, but overall, yeah, they committed sin overall, but hey, you know. Sin slash criminal, or crime, I meant. Because sin and crime, or crime are synonyms, you know, chat? Excuse me, chat.
soldier's reaction after seeing his mom for the first time in months will melt your heart. This is a special moment for this family after not seeing each other for so long, and their reaction is priceless.
Sometimes armies like are actors, like the way they act, like you know how they stand still and they don't move their physical body, like they don't make physical actions. Interesting. Cops can be like that as well. They'll be standing like that and they'll look at you and like, yeah, you see me? You see I'm fucking around? There should definitely be Watchmen's though, because man, that's just fucked up. Like people like stealing shit. Come on. I used to have those thoughts back then, like, oh, you know, but that is because of like my rare specific type of mental trauma, which is very rare, very temporary, obviously very decreased. But overall, I used to have those thoughts like, ooh, I want to do all this. Like, what's my stealing plan? But that's just my plan. You really think that's gonna like actually occur? I even have in my notes like what I would have done if I were to steal, but stealing is a sin. It's a form of greed, and I'm not gonna consider doing that. But that's just part of like the trauma overall, chat. You know, my very specific type of mental trauma, which is very, very, very temporary, chat. You know. You really think I would steal? You really think I'm greedy? Absolutely not. I'm grateful for what I have. And well, stealing is different. It's form of greed and envy. There's many reasons. It's gonna take quite a while for me to process that shit, but you know, overall I'm grateful. Like to get a PS6, just be patient. Have patience as well, so that chat as well. Like be humble for all chat, you know. Oh yeah, who knows what's gonna be here overall chat, you know. I'm gonna possibly have some Takis. Plenty or something. Plenty of Takis actually. Like I can have plenty of Takis. Cookies. Oh man, Oreo cookies, those like small bags. I am hungry, Chad. It's how you survive within a mortal body. Gives you plenty of energy and ensures. And even though it's fake food, in terms of like, actually it's not fake food. People just call it fake food. You shouldn't necessarily. Despite it being unhealthy, once in a while it's great. You get energized, but overall, despite what I have in it, overall, Chad, you know. Man, it's taking quite a while. Like after I get to the fire truck, actually, I'm gonna end my stream. But yeah, I'm gonna save and just, you know.
Unfucking-real! Holy shit! Hey there! What's good?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
My, someone's moody.
You should get some help with that personality of yours.
Bitch, please.
You know what? You should see a doctor for that shit.
Stop that right now, or I'll report you.
You make me wanna puke.
You can actually get arrested for if a person make a report like that, you know, for how you treat someone like that, you know. But 911 is not just for police, chat. It's another way. It's the first responder number. Very simple number. You just say 911. Actually, gonna teach my kids about that. You know. I'm actually gonna plan on considering being a police, firefighter, and paramedic, possibly like in Los Angeles. No. Man, the fire truck's taking quite a while. Come on, man. Hold on, should I call it again and make it faster, or I could possibly consider doing it. Who knows? It's gonna take quite a while to possibly get, you know. Who knows? Whoa! No, it left! Cause I want to see like who's in there. She Grand Theft Auto it.
You had an embolism? No, that.
Let's say next quick chat.
Help me!
Hello, this is 911. What emergency service do you require?
That is beyond the pale.
Hey Siri, if I were to call 911, what would they typically mention? Call 911 for medical emergencies, fires, criminal in progress, and situations which are life-threatening. If you are unsure, call 911 and the dispatcher will be able to assist you. Yeah, when people say calling the police, don't mention like calling the police. Just say, I'm gonna report you to police through the 911 dispatch. But hey, it's all good. People make a mistake when depend in terms of the line, you know. In terms of their moral character, overall trait, you know. Actually, yeah, without further ado, let's get started shit. But yeah, I gotta call it again. Fire depot?
I love that.
Thank you.
car.
The fire department are en route to your location.
Fire department, okay. Referring to the firefighters.
Holy shit!
That hurt this game. I'm gonna call the police as well, watch this. Come on, let me call you. Let me see if the police are gonna consider doing something, cause someone...
Shitty shit shit.
Oh. They came early. Watch it.
Ah, it's insured. Don't be a dick. Sorry.
Alright, I'll consider doing all that next time, but anytime I'm gonna end right here. If you want to see more of me playing GTA 5 story mode, be sure to leave a comment down below. I'll I'm gonna end right here. Take it easy, chat. But yeah, never steal those vehicles in real life. This is just part of the game. Because they're against thieves. I'm pretty sure in reality, there's no... We don't have that term where we're against thieves. Like that. You know? But Michael is part of the FBI, so I'm sure the FBI will consider doing that shit, and who knows? It's gonna take quite a while for me to process shit, you know. But anyway, yeah, take it easy.